everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley K. If you didn't know, there you go. If you're new, welcome. Go ahead. I ain't gonna tell you yet to subscribe. Watch the entire video. And if I catch your attention, subscribe and turn on your notification bell so you can see more. Day 2 or yesterday. What up, squad? Today I'm bringing y'all a video. Y'all already know what the tea is today, what I'm finna tell y'all. If you are someone who has started Locs, who's thinking about starting Locs, whatever the case may be, if you've already started Locs and you just don't know what to do, you've clicked on the right video. Perfect. I'm glad you're here because I got some tea for you. I got some tea tips for you. And I'm going to jump right in because y'all know I can talk. I like to talk. So I'm going to jump right in. I wrote this down. I got me some notes for y'all. And I started my Locs, just to give you just some little info on my Locs. I started my Locs about a year and 8 months ago. So it'll be 2 years in September. On September 16th, it'll be 2 years. So I'm almost at my 2-year Lockiversary. So y'all, trust me, I know a thing or two about Locs. I've been on my journey and I've learned a lot. To jump right in, tip number, and this is 7 tips, y'all. I'm giving y'all the top 7 tips. Okay? If you don't do nothing else, you don't listen to nobody else, take these tips and I promise you, you will have a wonderful Loc journey. Tip number 1 is to learn your Locs. And when I say learn your Locs, when you first start your Locs, don't do too much with them. Just watch them. Just watch how they move. Don't really touch them too much. Don't be so pressed to get a retwist or anything like that. Just learn your Locs. Learn what they like as far as what products, like how they react to products. Learn your Locs, okay? I don't want to say experiment with dozens of products, but use products on your hair and see how they react to it. See the form that your hair grows in. Like me, I learned in the beginning that my Locs do not grow, how can I say it, as one. My hair grows outside my Locs instead of growing inside. Like I have hair that's growing outside my Locs. Instead of it all growing as one uniform up into the lock, it grows outside the lock. So that's one thing I learned. I learned what products my Locs like. I learned how fast my Locs lock. Okay, so as I mentioned in my starting my Locs video, if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check that video out. I'll link it down below. When I started my Locs, my back was very coarse, so it locked within like 3 months. The back was locked. And I'm like, hold on. But my front, that took like a whole 6 months. My front took forever to lock, guys. And I didn't know if it was something I was doing or whatever. Like, I'm thinking I could do something to speed the process up, teasing my hair or something. Listen, like thinking I could do something, but really that was just my hair, and that's what I learned in the beginning process. So, tip number 1 is to learn your Locs. Okay, don't do too much with them in the beginning. They're still maturing, they're still growing. Learn them, just watch them. Just see how they gonna move. Tip number 2 is to limit your retwist. Okay, limit how many times you retwist your hair. Okay, do not. I know when you're first starting Locs, I'm guilty of this. I wanted my hair to look fresh and retwist at all times. I didn't want to walk around with a mess, okay, with my hair looking nappy or whatever the case may be. I wanted my hair to look polished and retwist at all times. Guys, do not do that. Limit how many times you retwist your hair. You should retwist your hair at least once a month. And if you bout that life, every 2 months, okay? If you up for a challenge, every 2 months. But if you're someone who, you can't go that long, every month. Once a month is enough for a retwist. Not every 2 weeks. Because first of all, you're putting so much tension on your hair. You're stressing your hair, and you're making your hair weak. It's already in an early stage. It's not like your hair is already completely locked, so, you know, not much is going to happen. Your hair isn't even locked yet. You know, give or take, it's probably not even locked yet. Don't do too much to it. Let it grow, let it mat, and let it just do its thing. Don't do too much to your hair. So I say tip number 2, limit your retwist. Okay, you have to understand the beginning stage is the rough stage. Okay, you're not gonna be cute all the time, but you signed up for this. But you gotta get through that stage in order to get what you really want. Okay, you want your locks to flourish and you want your locks to, you know, be healthy. You have to train them in the beginning. You have to not do so much with them, because in the long run you're gonna see breakage. You're gonna see thin. It's gonna be thin at the roots. You're gonna don't retwist your hair so often. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is to wash and detox your hair, guys. Okay, now don't think every time you wash your hair you have to retwist it. No, I promise you, there's ways to style your hair to do what you need to do for your hair to look decent if it doesn't have a retwist. And I'll definitely give you guys a video on that soon. So tip number 3 is to basically wash and detox your hair. And when I say detox, there's ACV and baking soda, baking powder, I don't know which one it is that they use to detox your hair with. Okay, so, you know, run some water, put all the ingredients in the water, and just lay your hair in there for like a good 30 minutes just to detox, to get any product, anything out of your hair. And that's good. Okay, that's cleansing your hair. You need your hair cleansed. Okay, you don't need dirty hair at all times, because dirty hair doesn't really grow. Okay, if you have a dirty scalp, you don't have room for hair to come through. Like, how am I supposed to break through all this gunk and grease and all of this? So that's why we wash our hair. Okay, that's why we wash our hair. So tip number 3 is to wash and detox your hair. You guys want to see how I wash my hair, how I detox my locks, or whatever the case may be, let me know. Comment down below if y'all want that video. So that's tip number 3. Now, tip number 4, piggyback off of that one. So after you've washed your hair and detoxed your hair, you stripped it of everything. So now we need to add some moisture back in there. So tip number 4 is to moisturize your hair. Keep your hair moisturized. Okay? Hair that's dry and brittle breaks off. Okay? And breaking off causes thin roots and all this extra mess. It causes your locks to hang barely from a thread. Okay? So make sure you are moisturizing your hair, especially if you are someone who is going to color, bleach, do all those types of things to your hair like me. I have to make sure my hair, because I've done so much processing to my locks, I have to make sure I have them moisturized at all times. It has to be some type of oil in my hair at all times, or if not, I'll do a deep condition. So make sure you're moisturizing your hair, whether that's with a deep conditioner, or you do a hot oil treatment, or just put some type of oil on your hair. Just keep your hair moisturized at all times. I promise you. I know what I'm talking about, y'all. You won't regret it. Okay, so that's tip number 4, to moisturize your hair. Tip number 5, do not, and this goes with the retwisting your hair, do not manipulate your hair so much to the point where you're styling your hair every day. Okay, I know there's some videos out here that show, you know, how to fake retwist your hair. I mean, by all means, yeah, but don't do that every day. Okay, if you're gonna fake retwist your hair, put it in there to where, you know, you won't have to do it for like a little minute. You don't want to keep putting your hands in your hair. You don't want to keep twisting your hair at the roots. Okay, like I said, that thins your roots. And trust me, I've seen people, I know people personally that deal with that issue. Okay, you don't want to be walking around with your locks hanging off your head in the long run. Okay, you probably not gonna see it in the beginning, of course. When you first starting your locks and you did it all the time, you're not really gonna notice it. Okay, during the long run, once they start growing, you're gonna start wondering, why the hell is my locks so thin? What is the issue? And then you're getting scared, you're panicking. Cause now you got locks just hanging. Now as you guys see, my locks is not thin at the root. Okay, I got hair. I got hair because I try not to do too much to my locks. If I put them up in a little bun like this, y'all see how I got this bun. And if you're new and you haven't seen, okay, well you want to come down too. I'm sorry. And you haven't seen how I got this little bun in my head, go check that video out. I'll leave that down below. I'll leave all my lock videos down below. So if you're new, check them out. If you just haven't seen them, check them out. So, y'all, do not manipulate your hair so much to the point where you're retwisting, putting product on it every day and twisting it up, and don't do it. So that's tip number 5, is to not manipulate your hair so much. Limit your styles. Just like I said, limit your retwist, limit your styles. Don't do too much to them. They're still in an early stage. They haven't completely matured. So give them time. Give them time. I'm telling you, sooner or later you'll be able to, you know, do what you need to do with your hair, and it's not going to cause as much damage. Of course, it's still going to damage your hair because that's doing too much, but they'll be matured to where if they need to revert a little bit, they'll be like, all right, we ain't gonna hit too hard. So that's tip number 5, is to limit your styles, limit the manipulation in your hair. Tip number 6, y'all. Number 6, and then we only got what? 1 left. Tip number 6 is to cover your locks. And y'all, I'm not saying at all times cover your locks everywhere you go. Don't let nobody see your locks. No. I'm saying if you're just sitting at the house chilling like me, I have my handy dandy little bonnet that I'm going to put on after this video, that I just basically, matter of fact, I'm about to put it on now. Let me take this out. I basically keep on my hair at all times. If I'm sitting at the house and I'm not doing anything, I'm going to put my bonnet on. And I'm going to lay around with my bonnet on. And that's basically to keep my hair. Okay, so you're laying on the couch, you're laying on a pillow, whatever, and you know every time you move, it's pulling. Every time you move, something's pulling. It's just too much going on. You're getting lint and dirt and all types of things in your hair. And it's just too much going on. So, to cover your hair is to avoid any friction. To avoid friction. And to also lock in the moisture in your hair that's already in there. So your hair is closed in, and of course in there it gets warm. Just like if you were sitting under the dryer or whatever the case may be. Inside here is locked in heat. You may not think about it, but it's locked in heat in here. It keeps your hair from just, it protects your hair. Just like you would put your scarf on if you got a brand new silk wrap. You have to care for your locks just as much as you did before you had your locks, or even more. I don't know. If you're someone like me, it depends. It depends on what I got going on with my hair. Like, some days I just let it do what it want to do. Some days I just give it all my attention. I'm like, look, I'm all for you today. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to pamper you. You know, you have to fall in love with your locks. And once you do, you'll realize, oh, I need to take care of these babies. Okay? So, tip number 6 is to cover your locks. I love to cover my locks when I'm just laying at home, chilling, not doing anything. When I'm out, of course I got my locks out. But when I'm at home, I'm not trying to hurt my baby. So to lay down, I put on my bonnet. And it's a silk bonnet. I put on my bonnet and I lay down so I know I'm not getting any lint in my hair, especially if I just wash my hair. I'm not getting no lint in my hair, no extra dirt and particles that's anywhere in here. In my hair, I'm avoiding friction. So whenever I move around, I'm not really pulling my hair too much because it's just all stuck here. And also, I want to say, I use, in the beginning, my locks was like real short. I would use stocking caps on my head, y'all. I would put stocking caps on my head and I would keep it on my head for like days, like under my wigs or whatever the case may be. And I felt like it made my roots thicker. Putting on that stocking cap, like, of course, because it mats everything to your head, so you're not really doing too much to your hair, and it just felt like my roots was thicker. And it makes your hair stronger, okay? When you don't manipulate your hair too much, it makes it stronger. Your roots are gonna be stronger. They're gonna be able to stand you doing too much in the long run. Don't do it in the beginning though, y'all. I'm gonna keep telling y'all, do not do too much to your hair in the beginning. So that's tip number 6, y'all. I don't wanna keep pressing that one, but that one is important. That's very important to cover your hair if you're just chilling, not doing anything, okay? You still wanna protect them. Don't be careless. And my last tip, y'all. My final and last tip, it may be cliche. You probably done heard it from everyone. But my final tip is to be patient, guys. Please be patient with your babies, okay? Trust the process. Trust me, if you just started your locks, I've been there. I've been there. If you haven't seen that video, please go watch it right now. Well, wait. Don't stop this one. Watch it after this one. I don't know how many times I took my locks out and put them back in. Took them out, put them back in, because I was just so impatient. You act like your locks really teach you patience. You have to be patient with your locks. Okay? It's not going to happen overnight. They're not going to grow to your shoulders overnight if they're right here. It's going to take some time, but if you take care of them and you do what you're supposed to do, you're going to enjoy the journey. You're going to look back like, okay, look how far they've come, and they probably going to look 10 times better than what you even imagined they were going to look like. Because my locks, I love them. I did not imagine my locks being the way they are today. Like, I didn't think they were going to look like this, honey. I had a whole nother vision for my locks, but they turned out perfect, and it's because I nurtured them. I took care of them. I was patient with them. Once I got the hang of it, I was so patient with them. So, my last tip is to be patient, guys. To trust the process, okay? It's a learning experience for both you and your hair, okay? You're learning your hair, but at the same time, you're learning yourself. You're learning yourself. You're embracing yourself, because this is natural beauty, okay? Your locks, you not doing nothing with your locks, like, it teaches you a lot, guys. But that's my 7 tips for the day. I don't want to keep y'all too long, okay? I just wanted to come give y'all some tips if you're thinking about starting locks, if you already started locks and now you're stuck and you're like, what am I supposed to do? Or, need help, or just anything. I hope this video came in handy. I hope it was helpful. And if you're new, back to y'all, go ahead and subscribe. Okay, if I got your attention, go ahead and click that subscribe, okay? Hit that notification bell so you know every time I post. I'll see y'all on Friday, squad. Y'all have a great day. And yeah, I love y'all.